What's up, guys? Hope everyone's having a good day. Bear with me a moment. Bear with me a second. Change that to public. Hope everybody's having a great day or end of your week, start to your Comic Con weekend. Pardon me. Bear with me a second. Bear with me a moment. Hope everybody's having a good, non eventful, crazy week. Oh, what's up, Miss Delgado? How you doing? I hope you're doing wonderful. Number one, like super fan. What's up, Mr. Dale? Um, I was grabbing some lunch today, and while I was eating lunch, I was actually surfing internet for a change, or surfing Facebook for a change. Normally, when I'm grabbing lunch, I'm either answering emails. What's up, David? I'm answering PMs or things like that, or watching something on YouTube while I eat. Uh, and then I jump back and get back to work. But I actually decided to kind of surf Facebook a little bit. They hit some likes on some stuff, left some comments on some stuff, and oh damn, your computer crap. Um, I was trying to think. Dale, I think I've got like two or three laptops laying around here somewhere. Uh, you can probably get one from me on the low if you need a laptop. It's good laptops. I always upgrade every so often. When I used to be in my old job, I mean they could use like a reformat for sure, and have it wiped and rebooted back to the starting system to just get rid of all the junk that might be on it. Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it. A little Psycho Sal hat. So anyway, so I took some time and actually surfed Facebook a little bit, and I won't be on here long. I've got to go to the store here in a little bit. Um, oh, your work laptop, got you. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've got like I think I've got like two or three damn laptops laying around here. Because the one I'm on right now is the I paid like $2,000 for this laptop. This is a beast. But anyway, so I'm surfing through Facebook, you know, and and you work at Facebook. Well, if you work at Facebook, you need to tell them to fix their algorithm bullshit. But anyway, so I'm surfing and I, there's an artist that's on my friends list. Um, he's well known, published covers with like Marvel, DC, and I've seen some of his stuff before, and I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to it because in the past there was never really a need. Hit the like button and keep rolling, you know. But I was looking at some of his art, and and usually for me, because when I worked in the insurance business, you learn how to pick up on telltales from people that may not be telling the whole truth on certain things. Then when I worked in the security world, in the casinos and stuff like that, you learn that also. And then of course, you know as a poker player and stuff, you learn things to watch out for too. um, yeah, they need to do more shit, brother. The amount of money they make off us, the least they could do is give us a proper working damn platform. I'm just saying. But um, so we learn, and I've always learned in life in general also, usually someone screaming the white knight flag crap the most tends to be the one you want to watch out for. no matter the topic. Usually when it's the person screaming the most about cheating, they're the person doing the cheating. Usually when it's the person that's screaming the most about stealing or anything like that, they're usually the ones doing the stealing. Like, you learn those kind of traits to look for. And I don't mean somebody occasionally talking about things. I mean, when you look at their page on Facebook or Instagram, and every other post is about the topic that they're screaming against. It's like, it's so much of it that it's just overwhelming. So that's kind of a red flag in general. Not always the case, but the majority of the time, that's the red flag. I mean, we've even discovered it in the selling groups and stuff, where you see these guys talking about sexual harassment and all these other things, how it, it's disgusting. And it, don't get me wrong, it is. I'm referring to what they're saying. They really go heavy on that. And then you find out later, they got caught, sexually harassing someone or some shit like that. So that's usually the way it goes. The one screaming the loudest is the one that gets caught doing it. And like I said, I'm not talking about the occasional person talking about topics and sharing their opinions. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about it's just when it's just a flood of it. Yeah. So I got to looking at the art on their page, and of course, it'd be a couple pieces of art, and then it's just AI bashing. And I don't have a problem with that. I've AI bashed, but we talk about it every so often. We post about it every so often, usually when we catch somebody or something. We occasionally share our standpoint on it. But when I look at your page and it's just every other post is AI bashing, it kind of throws that little red flag for me. And so I started looking at the art, and I found there's no doubt. I've sent the images to someone else I trust in this industry. What's up, Jim? I've sent the images of the artwork to someone else I trust in this industry to look at it and give me an honest thought, just to make sure I'm not, seeing something that's not there, even though I know it is. I'm trying to play devil's advocate a little bit and look for the white lining here. And I'm not talking about one piece, two piece. Like I dug through their images, and I found a lot of art in the last handful of months that, without a shadow of a doubt, in my personal opinion, is 100% AI generated damn art that they've tweaked a little. And for those that don't know, when it comes to AI art, the shit being generated from the apps, they can't get everything perfect. So when you're someone who's been in the art industry for a long time, art in general for most of your life, and then the art industry itself, seen thousands of videos of other artists doing things, seeing stuff in person, et cetera, you understand that there's a certain way you draw things that pretty much carry over from every artist to every artist to every artist, because there's a formula to what we do. And when you look at art, these images, and let's say, you got one, fingers don't align correctly. Like AI can't do everything perfect. So fingers will be out of wonky, or like, let's say there's something on someone's shoulder that's supposed to be interacting with the shoulder. It doesn't interact with the shoulder like it would you normally draw it, or the way it does in real life. It kind of goes into the shoulder. You know what I mean? Ground textures that should be, you should be able to tell what it is. It all kind of blurs together because the AI is just trying to generate this image from the internet. So I found tons of it. And like I said, I sent the pictures over to a friend of mine who's in the industry too, to get his honest opinion. Like I said, just to make sure I'm just not imagining what I'm seeing, because I've always liked this artist. They do incredible work in general. And now I'm looking at this shit in the last handful of months, and I'm like, it is what it is. In my opinion, it is what it is. It's AI generated damn art. Because like I said, there's certain things that don't line up the way one side of a body works to the other side, or the way clothing is supposed to sit. And when the work of the person from previous, past pieces, from, a couple years ago, you can see the difference. And, the way things are supposed to go, they just a little wonky. They don't sit right because the AI can't do it perfect. And it has trouble duplicating one side of something to the other. And we as humans, we're very keen on trying to keep things equal. So, the shoulders, we try to keep, unless it's a deformed character, but if it's just a normal character wearing a leather jacket or wearing a dress or whatever the case may be, holding a weapon, you can only hold a weapon a certain way. You can only hold a gun a certain way. You can only hold a sword a certain way. And when the stuff isn't correct and it's basic art stuff and it didn't get fixed, that tells me that it's AI generated shit, because it doesn't go through the hand that way. And you as a professional artist know that. If you got a hand up in the air, the fist only looks a certain way. You're not going to have this hand come up and this, thumb over here, and then these fingers are all shrunken down. Let me get my hand to where it matches, where it's supposed to be, like this wide. It's shrunken down. Go back this way to where it's this wide with three fingers in there, and you got this. Like I said, there's just telltale signs to it. So now I'm trying to decide what the hell I should, because myself, many others, we've drawn this line in the sand about a zero tolerance for AI art in the community. And to sit here and see someone that I like as an artist that I followed for a long time, that's on my friends list, that again, in my mind, there's no doubt that it's AI art because of the telltale giveaways. And it's someone who has screamed to the heavens, on their page about AI being the devil, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Now, I'm not personal friends with the person, so it's not that, it's not a case of it's someone I know personal, on a personal level that I'm friends with. It's just an acquaintance on Facebook. We may have talked once or twice, and that's probably it. So there's not a loyalty thing there, but it's what's up, Jim? It's a thing of, because again, when I look at the images, there's no doubt in my mind. And of course, I'm not going to say anything until I hear back from the person I sent the images to, because I want their feedback also, because they can look at it, devil's advocate also, and go, okay, yeah, something's a little weird here. I'm not sure, or yes, it's this, or no, it's not. Like I want a second opinion. So I sent him the images. But in my mind, from everything I have seen with AI and how people have gotten caught using it, the telltale signs for it's AI. There's truly, for the most part, there's not a doubt in my mind. And part of it, I'm trying to stay calm about it, but what really pisses me off about it is this is someone who has claimed that AI shouldn't be allowed and AI is evil, et cetera, et cetera. And that's correct. It shouldn't be allowed. You should not be able to dump art and, from typing in some damn words and getting Marvel covers and DC covers, et cetera, and getting a lot of damn attention because your art is like, holy shit, And there's nothing wrong with an artist growing. We always get better over time. But when I look at your stuff from a couple years ago and, so on, and then I look at the stuff in the last like 6 months or so, give or take, and it's a whole different ballgame. And don't get me wrong, the other drawback to it is I believe a good bit of his work he does digital anyway, but that also throws a monkey wrench in the whole thing too, because that's kind of what's happening right now. That's kind of how some people are getting caught, is they're generating this stuff on AI, then they're loading it into their, Photoshop or whatever the case may be. And they start trying to make those tweaks and stuff and fix those things that are blatantly obvious. It's almost a given that every time you do hands in AI, you have like 9 fingers on one hand. So they've already started loading. Some of these people have gotten outed, have started loading their AI generated stuff into Photoshop, and they're correcting those hand issues. And like I said, one of the big telltale signs for AI is the backgrounds, is the lighting from all kinds of directions, etc. But it's really the background. When the background is, it looks like something out of a movie. I'm sorry. There's some incredibly talented graphic artists out there, or excuse me, digital artists and colorists, etc., that use Photoshop and all that, but they ain't doing that good. I'm sorry. I mean, again, don't get me wrong. They're doing some immaculate, incredible work, but it's not that level. There's a big difference between the computer level with an AI generating it than a human generating it. So now I'm kind of stuck with like, what do I do about it? Because, or do I do anything? Because let's just be honest. There's this negative side of me that goes, it's pointless to talk. It's pointless to name drop. It's pointless. Some of them, like I said, it's going to get better. AI is going to get better. And that's why we have to have that line in the sand, because at some point, everybody's going to give up. I mean, just like this case in point right now, like I was just about to say, that what bothers me the most is I sit here along with many other artists and bust my ass for hours. We already have to compete with people that use SketchUp Pro. For those that don't know, SketchUp Pro is a program that creates 3D models. You can create 3D models of characters, and it can create beautiful backgrounds with buildings and street level views, etc., where you ain't having to do shit but draw the character, and then you load the background. So we already have to compete against that. And it's kind of funny, nobody really says anything about that one. I'm not sure why, because it's not that far-fetched from AI. Not really. I mean, you're not hand drawing the background. You get what I'm saying? You're using a computer program to create it, and then you just load it into your Photoshop or load it into wherever, or print it out on your blue line. You go into Photoshop, lay your character on top of the scenery. So let's say you got Spider-Man in this city view, or Batman in this city view in the background, and you just, load the character and place this beautifully rendered city in the background, and then load it, into Photoshop, and then blueprint it out and ink it, I guess, or either ink it in Photoshop, whatever the case may be. So we already have that we have to compete with. And like I said, nobody really bats an eye about that one. I'm not really sure. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the same as AI generated stuff by any means, in the sense that you're not just, loading words and then it scrapes the internet to steal everybody's shit. So I guess that's why nobody says anything about SketchUp Pro. I don't think it scours the internet to steal anybody's stuff. But I think it's called SketchUp Pro or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of artists using that, especially out of the, I don't even know how to word it the correct way, especially people coming from out of the, the Asian side of the world. I'm sure I'm saying it incorrect. I'm sure it'll probably hurt somebody's feeling. But anyway, that's super popular with that crowd. They love using it. I'm not talking about Photoshop, brother. Why is every time somebody tries to talk about AI, you guys keep trying to talk about Photoshop's been used forever? We're not talking about Photoshop. Nobody gives a fuck about Photoshop. The issue is AI. The issue is, let me type in 5 words and boom, here's the cover. That's the problem. It's just a lot of people are taking those and they're loading them into AI. Loading an AI prompted bullcrap into Photoshop does not turn you into an artist again. It's still stolen ass art that you've loaded. Yeah, there's tons of stuff you can do with Photoshop. I'm not talking about Photoshop. You can do lighting effects with Photoshop. You can do rendering effects, texturing. I that, that doesn't bother me at all because people still have to do it by hand. They're not going to Photoshop, typing in 5 words and calling it a day. So, and I don't mean to snap at you. It's just every time I talk about this subject, I don't know why it is. It's usually 1 or 2 or 3 people that come into the chat trying to talk about Photoshop's been around forever. This has nothing to do with Photoshop. You still have to do the work with Photoshop. I mean, like I said, but if you're loading an AI image into Photoshop so you can correct things that are damaged, because the AI isn't perfect, that's still AI stolen art that you've loaded into Photoshop. I don't give a shit what you pump out at the end of the Photoshop day. You still loaded that day with stolen ass art. In super easy mode that takes 0 talent. But no matter how good you think you are as a human, we will always miss details. I mean, we all miss details. Yeah, again, it's I think the reason nobody bats an eye about 3D models or SketchUp is like I mentioned a few minutes ago. I think it's because you still have to kind of go in there and do the work. It's not scraping the internet for other people's stuff. Like I said, we artists don't have an issue with the concept of an AI generator. Like myself and many others have said in the past, if they could have designed an AI app generator, art generator that didn't scrape the internet, that I had to physically sit down at my computer or my phone and load my images from the past, thousands of sketches, etc., into the app, and then every time I wanted to come up with some kind of new thing, I could just go, Venom, city scene, nighttime, and it spit out an image based off of my art. No artist would have batted an eye about that. There probably would have been some, traditionalists that would have said something, but the majority wouldn't have said shit because time is money in our industry. We all know that. Like I said, that's the reason you see portrait artists using light boxes. That's why you see, people like Drew Struzan, who's one of the most incredible painters in our time, who uses projectors to line draw, these actors' faces on his movie posters. He still has to paint it, we don't have an issue with there being a tool that makes things faster because yes, a portrait artist could sit like Drew Struzan or anyone else could sit there and spend 6 hours drawing Harrison Ford's face. But you know what? He's got deadlines to meet. Now he can do it, but he's using a projector to project the line art so he can move shit faster. Like I said, because the deadlines and time is money. Like nobody has an issue with there being a tool that could possibly make you, more money faster. It's just the sole fact that it scrapes the internet. That's the problem. I haven't seen anything about that. Haven't heard anything about that. Haven't seen anybody promote it on any platform. So more than likely, that's probably some bullshit somebody's feeding you so they can try to justify the art they're doing. Because at this current moment, every single AI generator on the app market scrapes the internet and pulls information to their database. So whoever's telling you that, brother, I guarantee you they're lying to your face to justify them using an AI generator. Because like I said, we've done our research. We're not sitting here in Facebook land pretending like we haven't looked. Nobody has bothered to do that because you got to remember, these AI apps, they went for the most common denominator to make money. And that's everybody that can't draw. Because there are hundreds of thousands upon thousands of people that cannot do what we do on the level we do it. So they went for the common denominator. They're not going to design an app that's solely placed in the market for us when they know even the majority of us still wouldn't use it because you're going to have hardcore traditionalists that aren't going to give up the pen and paper, et cetera, et cetera. That we're the same people that haven't switched to digital, so you're already, if you've designed an AI app that you have to load, that it doesn't scour the internet, you're aiming. I'm live, sweetie. You're already, it's scouring the internet, and it's doing, if you're doing it that way, you're aiming at a smaller market of artists, and then it's an even smaller market out of even the artists that probably won't use it. So now I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying myself and the other people that have been doing the digging on AI prompters, so we know what's out there, haven't seen one yet. Yeah, I mean that's another thing too. Like if you have an app that you auto fill your own art in, unless you're doing it on the level that we're doing it, you're not dumping enough art into it fast enough for it to grow, because it has to grow. It has to have the fuel to keep things going. Well, that would be really weird to have some. See what I mean? Like, you got to take a lot of this shit you're told, Jim, with a grain of salt. Because if you did have something like that, knowing the stance that artists have taken on this thing, Comic Cons have taken, comic shops have taken, publishers have taken, the stance that so many people have taken against the AI generator in its current form, that'd be kind of silly as the person to go, oh, I got this thing where it doesn't pull from the internet and you have to load your own art into it. Why wouldn't you sell it? You see what I mean? You got to use a little common sense and a little, grain of salt. Yeah, like I said, take it with a grain of salt, because I'm gonna call bullshit on it. Because, like I said, every artist I've talked to, other than the hardcore traditionalists that don't want anything to do with it in any form, most of the artists don't give a shit about the AI generator in itself. They care that it strips it from the internet. So if you had one that doesn't strip it from the internet, I don't know why you wouldn't promote that. Well, again, like I said, I'm not saying it's impossible. I just don't really buy it, because a lot of people love to talk shit, and a lot of people try to talk shit that they know something when they don't know something. And then on the flip side, a lot of people who might sneakily be doing shit tries to justify shit. Like, you see it all the time when I see these artists, up and coming artists, make these posts about, I just really don't understand the pushback on AI art. We all grow. The industry must grow. These are all just new tools. I just don't. They play dumb. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, it doesn't matter, because I've not personally seen it, so I can't speak on it. All I can say is, if you had something that targeted artists in a helpful way, it's weird if you're not selling it. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Yeah, you got to take everything with a grain of salt these days. Unless it's, proof pushed in your face, you got to take everything with a grain of salt today. But because I mean, I ain't gonna lie about it. Time is money for us. The faster we can meet deadlines, the more deadlines we can do. The faster we can get art out the door, the faster we can do more art, make more money. So, I mean, yeah, I've said it clear before. If AI generator was a possibility in a new form that only targeted me, even if it scoured the internet, it only could scour the internet for the person the app belonged to. Like let's say you purchased the app under your Apple name, for like William Russell, and the only thing it scours the internet for is William Russell. Like, I don't, most artists wouldn't even bat an eye at that. Especially if it was one I could load my own art into, because I got thousands upon thousands upon thousands of created art over the past 4 years that I could throw in a thing that could keep me going for a long time. So most people wouldn't bat an eye about that. It's the whole fact that it's stealing from other people. I mean, like I said, we've seen art where it had people's signatures in it. Well, the developer's code is written off of the art that is generated from us. It's the code that creates the image. So it's still my art. I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's still my art because it's no one else's art. It's not the AI's art because the art AI can't create art from nothing. So it has to have a palette to come from. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, but but the other thing is too, the fine print on the AI apps, you don't own it. They own anything and everything created in their app. That's a whole nother level of stupid. And then you tack on the fact that, what was it? The Supreme Court or whoever it was ruled that, the copyright part of the government ruled that, you can't, you can't copyright anything created in an AI generator. If it's yours, you put time in it somewhere. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Mark. Yeah, I mean, and that's something else that would have to change is the fact that you don't own the rights to it. Like I've read the user agreement when people first told me about it. I went to the apps and I read the user agreement. It straight up tells you they own everything created in that app. So, that's a dumbass move on an artist's part right there. You don't get shit because think about that. If you did use an AI generator to create some character and the character came out just stupid badass and you wrote some story for it, or let's say you're one of these dumbasses that's using an AI generator to create a full comic book. And let's say for some weird reason, that book sees the light of day and it sees the eyes of the right person. And all of a sudden they want to turn it into something, a TV or whatever the case may be. And you don't get shit. I mean, that's a whole level of stupid. So, but like I said, finding out, like I said, I'm looking at this guy's art and it's someone I follow. It's someone I enjoyed seeing his art in the past. And I see him constantly, like just every other post, he's making a new post about bashing AI art, and that kind of threw a red flag for me when I started watching. Like I said, usually the one that screams the loudest, whether they're talking about sexual harassment or whether they're talking about cheating or stealing, whatever the case may be, the one you just see constantly just woo woo woo, ringing that white knight mentality is usually the one you want to watch out for. So, like I said, when I started looking at his art, like I said, the backgrounds is kind of a dead giveaway. A lot of times with AI generated stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of graphic digital colorists out there that can do immaculately cool shit with backgrounds, coloring, lighting, effects and things like that. You can do a lot of cool shit in Photoshop, but there's still there's a telltale difference. And then when like I said, then there's the telltale things where clothing doesn't set the right way, the way you would draw it if you were hand drawing it, whether digitally drawing or traditional. There's things on the costumes that instead of them sitting where they're supposed to sit on the costume, they go into the costume, again, because AI can't really balance, left and right of something. There's always something that'll be off. Let's say there, if it's an image looking straight at you and the shoulders are this wide, which is a head, and, another head, so there's the traditional things for drawing. And then you look at it and this shoulder is the correct width over here. But then like this shoulder is like right here, like there's this whole 7 inches, 8 inches of shoulder over here. And then on this side, it's like 3 inches of a shoulder. Like it's hard for AI to do that sometimes. So there's always telltales. Like I said, usually the biggest giveaways are hands, but people have gotten to where they're loading AI into Photoshop and they're fixing the hands, but you're not perfect. You're going to miss stuff. So you'll see fabric that shouldn't be there, like something on the clothing that shouldn't be there, but for some reason it is, or hair just all of a sudden coming out of nowhere, like it's hair, like a hair coming up right here, and it gets right here and it just vanishes. There's clothing up here, you can see it. It's not vanishing in the shadows Like there's clothing, there's a neck, there's a shoulder, there's clothing, there's color, but the hair just stops right here, you know? Yeah, I mean they're gonna like keep track of prompt words and shit like that, you know, and because most everybody's using the same damn prompt, you know. When you're creating comic related stuff, most of the wording and everything you're going to put in it's the same wording that Joe Blow just did. You know, there might be one or two differences, you know, or something like that, but it doesn't matter to me. You know what the reasoning for some people using AI art in the current state that it's in my opinion, is still thievery. It's still 100% theft, and I just I don't know what to think about this one. I don't know what to do about this one because, like I said, myself and a few other people, we've taken this kind of line in the sand about, you know, if we see AI art being used, we're going to out it. If we see AI art being promoted, we're going to out it. If we see AI art being used in advertisements, etc., we're going to take a stance on it. And I know some of you guys are like, "Oh, it's pointless. Don't worry about it." And you could be right. You know, but it's one of those things that you know, like they always say, you got to take a stand on certain things in life. I mean, I wasn't joking about that TV show. Now, some of you are like, "Oh, that's a different thing." It's not a different thing because the fact that they made Secret Wars and they did a complete long ass intro to it using AI generated images and not hiring a professional artist to do that intro is a slap in the face to everything comics is about. The whole point, there's a secret whatever the hell that show is called. What's it called? Anyway, that new damn show on Marvel. The very fact that show exists is because of comic artists and writers and colorists and letterers and everyone else that paved the way for that shit to be relevant. There's the whole Secret Wars thing. That's the only reason it's on TV is because of the people that put in the legwork and did the work and got the job done and made it popular and et cetera, et cetera. So the fact that you decide to do this again, especially during a writer's strike, but the fact that you decide to do that, in my opinion, is a slap in the face to the people that made it possible for you to even have the show to make money off of. Yeah. I mean, it's no doubt. We all knew at some point it would happen. You know, at first it started out with, you know, little fun AI things with your own face. And we talked about it years ago. We were like, yep, you guys can get ready for it. You're about to have a fight because, you know, like I said, it's easy to target the lowest denominator, the easiest people to spend money on your shit because they can't draw. They don't want to draw. They have no interest in drawing, and they damn sure don't want to put in the decades of work that it takes to be a legit artist. So hell yeah. I mean, they ain't no telling how much money those apps have made. I mean, insane money. Well, here's the thing. The only way it'll get difficult for us to compete without conforming, so to speak, is you guys. It's the retailers, it's the comic shops, it's the Comic-Cons, it's the fans. That's how we stay relevant and we stay employed, is by you guys taking a damn stance and not supporting it in any fashion. You know, and that's why, like I said, a lot of us have taken stances. A lot of Comic-Cons have taken a hard stance. There will not be AI booths at Comic-Cons. Now, there's some cons that haven't said shit. There's some fans that just kind of roll over and, okay, I'm going to make me some art. Look, mommy, I'm an artist now. You know, yeah, of course. There's going to be retailers that are going to go, oh, shit, I ain't got to pay nobody to do no damn cover. shit, I'll just go in here and type some words in Journey and print me out a cover like that Melissa chick or whatever her damn name is. I can't remember her name, but y'all knew who I'm talking about. The one that's on that latest video who decided to pull that shit and make a cover of her own. So yes, there's always going to be cheap ass people that are going to break the rules, bend the rules, or whatever the case may be. There's always going to be lazy ass people that are going to take the shortest route from A to B. It just is what it is. It's not even the same thing. So you can disagree all you like, but that's not a legit counterpoint on any level. So hate to break that to you. Not the same thing, because the person that's using, like if you want to compare someone that was typing to someone using a computer, they still have to do the work. If you want to compare somebody using as a typesetter jobs to someone that's doing it all automated, yes, it eliminates jobs, but you still have to learn that job and you still have to become efficient at that job. And that job's not stealing the information from someone else. See, that's my point. That's that thing I said a few minutes ago. Every time we talk about this, someone will, and I'm not coming on you, Brian, I'm just speaking in general. And somebody wants to come in and try to compare it to something that it ain't the same thing. Again, the issue people have, and I don't know why I have to keep saying this, the issue people have is not the platform. The issue people have is where the platform gets its information. That's the issue. It's the same damn concept. Here, I'll put it in real simple damn terms for everybody. Let's say I was building a house, right? And I'm building the house and I walk next door and I steal all of that guy's stuff to build my house. I didn't work for that shit. He worked his life to build that up. You know, I'm just going to walk over and steal it, you know? Well, like I said, I get what people, like I said, I try to take it with a grain of salt when people make those comparisons, because I just assume they don't know any better, you know, or they may not understand how AI truly works in its current form, or you know, they may not know that much about it, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, it's not the same thing. Like I saw someone the other day trying to compare people using AI to generate art to someone using Photoshop to create art. And it ain't the same. If it's the same, I tell you what, set your ass down, download Photoshop, and you go in there and draw me a Batman picture. And then we'll see if it's the same. It's no problem, Brian. Like I said, most people don't know. Most people in the regular world, so to speak, they don't understand why we're pissed about this. They don't understand where AI gets its shit from, because at first AI was lying to everybody. They were straight when we first started calling these platforms out and you know, pointing out where they were getting art from. At first they tried to lie. Oh, no. We don't pull in anyone else's artwork. This is all generated in-house. Our computers are just super smarter than everybody else's shit. So, you know, we can just form these things out of nothing. And then they got caught where people were putting art out that they were creating in their platforms. And, you know, and it started pulling in artists' signatures into the generated pieces. And that's where they got busted. And they couldn't lie no more. And then that's where they came forward, like the guy that owns Midjourney or whatever it's called, one of the largest ones out there. That's when he came forward and said, yes, he was like, our database system scrapes the internet and it pulls in all of this information and it compiles it into a new image. So once he got caught, then he confessed to how it really works. Yeah, Midjourney. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. You still, like I said, and it's, you know, no shade on Brian. I you know, it's okay. But that is one of the arguments we keep seeing is people keep trying to, and it gets frustrating because I don't know how many times myself and many other artists, you know, have made posts or we've done videos, you know, talking about it. Now, obviously you may not have seen everything, you know, and whatever, and that's okay. But yeah, at the end of the day, that's what we're pissed about. It's not the idea of a new technology, because that's the other one that people try to push on us. Oh, you're just scared of new technology. No, bitch, that ain't got nothing to do with it. We don't have an issue with new technologies. If we did, we'd be bashing Photoshop. We'd be bashing Procreate. We don't have a problem with stuff that allows you to do the job faster. Can I sit down with Procreate and draw shit faster than I can on paper? Oh, hell yeah. Can I sit and draw in Procreate and correct issues and stuff on the fly without having to erase and spend another half hour to an hour redrawing something? You know, oh, look, his head's a little small for his body. Oh, let me lasso cut that, shrink it, you know, bop it in and out, make it bigger, smaller, whatever. Oh, look, his arm looks weird like this, so I'm going to move it down here. Oh, let me just cut that out and I can move his damn arm. Yeah, it's a hell of a lot faster. Now, I haven't switched to it because I like traditional. I like drawing on paper. But I don't have an issue with anyone that does digital art, because they still have to learn the platform. They still have to put in the hours upon hours upon hours of work to learn it, to become efficient at it. I mean, tons of work. Like I said, if anybody out there thinks AI is the same as digital, take your ass in there, download Procreate, and you draw me a Batman piece from scratch. You'll find out real damn quick it ain't the same damn thing. No, you're fine, Brian. Like I said, I take it with a grain of salt every time somebody says it, because it even though we're on the internet, and I don't know, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know how anybody hasn't heard it yet, but, with the amount of people that's been pissed off. But, you know, again, not everybody's on Facebook all the time. So, yeah, that's the issue. The issue is where the AI generators pull their images from. And like I said, they've been proven that that's where they get it from, because of the artist signatures that have shown up in people's pieces, like in there somewhere, you know, that they didn't notice. So, yeah, it's a whole, but that's one of the arguments. I'll hear people say, oh, it's no different than someone using digital, digital art. Yeah, it's hugely different. Or the other one is, you know, the other argument is, oh, you're just scared of technology. No, that's not it either. Trust me, as an artist who has deadlines and would love to put shit out faster, because again, time is literally money with us. Hey, what's up, Sherry? I can tell you right now, if there was an AI generator, because the images can be beautiful. I mean, beyond beautiful. If there was an AI generator that I could load my shit into and type in 5 damn words and call it a day, I'll tell you right now I would. You know why? Because it'll generate, that AI computer will generate images, you know, especially because not only would it save me time, it'd save me money, because I don't have to hire a colorist to color my shit. So it 2 birds, 1 stone right there. Time and money wasted, not wasted, but money spent on someone else. So, and the shit it produces is just, woo, you know, it's incredible. Like some of this stuff I've seen, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sitting here going, holy shit, this is beyond immaculate, which is also one of the telltale signs that shows you it's not hand drawn. You know, it's not hand done. There's always telltales. But yeah, hell no. If there was a way I could do it to where it just used my shit, I can tell you right now, I'd be doing it for some of the stuff. Not everything, because I still love drawing traditional, but, you know, because obviously you can't use that for doing commissions per se, but you could for covers. The amount of time that would save me or any other artist, and the level of, you know, quality it spits out is just insane. Well, yeah, I mean, that's true too, but this all leads to that. Technology pushes technology, you know? But yeah, so anyway, like I said, I don't know. I'm going to give it some more thought. I got to figure out what I'm going to do, because like I said, we a lot of us have taken this hardcore stance about zero tolerance for AI generated stuff, especially if you're being published, you know, and this particular person is well known. He's liked. People like his art. I like his art. I've followed him for a long time. And, like I said, when I got to looking at his art from the last, 6 months or so, 6 months, a year, give or take, whatever the handful of months that it's been going on, when I look at the art, there is seriously, I haven't watched the show. I'm not going to. I'm not watching the show. So, y'all think I'm joking. I don't have no issues not watching that damn show. It won't make my life one way or the other. So, let's just be honest. More likely, it's probably a shit show any damn way. Most of the shit has been in the last, last year. But my point is I damn sure have a zero tolerance. I will not watch that show. You guys can do what you want. Obviously, you pay your own bills. I'm not going to tell you what you can or what you should or shouldn't. Me personally, I stand with my true artist friends and colleagues and the people that got shit on by them using that AI bullshit to do that intro. And I know some of you are probably like, oh, it's just an intro on a TV show. It ain't that big a deal. Yeah, it is. It's a huge damn deal. So, like I said, you guys can do what you want, but I'm not doing anything to do with that. Actually, that doesn't have shit to do with the comic characters. That's a TV show and a studio that has to do with the studio. So, now if once this particular artist I'm referring to, if they get outed and Marvel continues to use them for said project, now then that's a different topic about discussion. I can't hold the comic part of the industry responsible what a studio chooses to do with Disney. I just know I won't be watching the show. Now, once this artist, if he gets outed, and if they continue to use him for art, and like I said, they may not know right now, and I'm sure they don't, but if he gets outed and they are put in the loop and they continue to allow him to do work using AI generated art, now we're going to have another ball game. But luckily in that scenario, there'll be a whole lot more bigger names, way bigger than me, that'll be at bat. So now like I said, I got to figure out what I sent the images to someone I trust to get their feedback on it. But there's no doubt in my mind when I look at the images compared to his other images and then compared to just in general, there's no doubt in my mind it's AI art. Like I said, it's got a lot of the telltale signs for AI for, like I said, stuff disappearing into clothing or appearing out of nowhere, or hands being inaccurate or holding, swords inaccurate that don't hold that way. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, it's going to be one of those things. No, I don't think as a whole, I don't think they won't unless someone sneaks it in. Because let's just be honest, at the end of the day, Marvel paying artists to draw shit, they're making so much money hand over fist. It's not like they're out a bunch of money to hire artists, But as far as I think there's enough artists in the industry itself that do interiors, because you're not just dealing with artists. You're dealing with letterers. You're dealing with writers. You're dealing with colorists. You're dealing, with inkers and pencilers. That's a whole lot of people that you're going to piss off. And if they walk away, because here's the thing, there are not enough AI artists to fill comic world. There are not efficiently and not even partially, and damn sure not enough efficiently to do interiors over and over and over and over and over and over. So it would be one hell of a strike if that tried to happen. You can bet money on that shit. But and again, because here's the great thing. See, that's the other thing. See, Marvel, DC, etc., they don't have a stranglehold on artists anymore. Pre-internet, they had a stranglehold on artists. You did it our way, when we said it, how we said it, or you can bounce and we'll find somebody else to replace you. Now, don't get me wrong, that's still the case. But artists can walk away from any of those companies, self-publish if they choose to, and do well. And they don't have to do that. They could set and draw commissions all the damn hell they want and still never have to draw another book for another company. So it'd be one hell of a weird gamble. Digital's so much faster. So much faster to do, so easier to fix, mistakes, etc. Yeah, digital is damn sure it is the better route over traditional as far as time versus money. It really is. I mean, now there's no doubt about it. I believe it was. Now, again, if this guy gets outed and what I'm thinking is true on these covers, this will be an AI Marvel cover. Now, I guarantee you Marvel didn't know. Now, Image Comics, I know, I believe it was Image Comics. Was it Image Comics that printed an AI cover book? And then they found out, it may have been a different company. One of the companies did have that happen, where a cover got outed as an AI cover. Yeah, I know how copyright works. I also know how parody works too. There's always ways around the system. But yeah, trust me, I know copyright law very well. I've done my research on that shit too. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get off here. I got to run a couple of errands real quick. But anyway, I just want to kind of voice my thoughts on that. Like I said, I got to figure out what to do. I sent the piece to them. I'm going to see what they think. Because like I said, if we're going to draw a line in the sand and we're going to stand by it, we have to draw a line in the sand no matter who it might involve. So I don't know. Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it all comes down to is fans standing their ground and supporting us. Artists standing their ground and supporting each other. Comic shops, Comic-Cons, etc., standing their ground and supporting us. Now, nobody gives a fuck about NFTs. that shit died off like everything else. Nobody gives a shit about fake-ass NFTs. People laundering money and shit with NFTs. Yeah, nobody gives a shit about NFTs. They ain't nobody making no money off that shit. That shit's faded already. Yeah, that shit. Once people got to understanding that this shit is laundered money and and shit like that, because ain't nobody paying $150,000 for some scribbled ass shit from a nobody on the internet. So once people realize that, holy shit, this is damn laundered money, or this is fake ass Bitcoin bullshit, from these other companies, etc. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some folks made some shitloads of money there for a little bit, but no, nobody gives a shit about NFTs. That shit ain't been on the hot mic for shit, what, a year or more? So yeah. Yeah, well, it's not suckers. I think it's people laundering money, because I mean, you got people that aren't paying $100,000 for no Jim Lee shit, and Jim Lee changed the industry, with Image. He's one of the biggest dogs in the dog park. You know what I'm saying? And you can get his shit for like 10 grand. Hell, you can get original cover art from, with his name on it for 10 to 15,000. So I mean, there, everybody figured out that money that's floating around in NFT land is probably shit that's going to get you in trouble. Ugh. Yeah, more power to him. He ain't making it now. So now you're going to have to figure out how to draw and do shit for real, because they ain't nobody really buying that shit no more. I told you guys when that shit came out that it was going to plummet as fast as it came out. Now, don't get me wrong. If I'd have been someone that didn't give a shit or whatever, I'd have sold some of my art as NFTs, and I would have made, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 that first year, give or take. But it's nothing but just schemed bullshit. And like I said, nobody gives a shit about NFTs no more. Ain't nobody making no stupid money on the NFTs no more. All the money that needed to be laundered is laundered. All the money that needed to be floated around is gone. So you know, kudos to the people that, jumped on it and didn't give a shit and did it, awesome to them. But no, I'm good. And nobody else gives a shit either. But anyway, I'm going to get off here, guys. You guys have a wonderful evening. Take care. And don't forget, next Friday, Psycho Sound number 4 kicks off with Lori's writing on the book. Lots of great covers on that Kickstarter. So be ready for that Kickstarter next Friday, the 30th. Also, don't forget this coming weekend, the weekend of the 30th and the 2nd or whatever, I'll be at Fan Expo Denver. So I will be in Denver, Colorado for the first time. So make sure you guys come by, show some love at the booth, say hi. But otherwise, I'll see you guys later. Take care and have a wonderful night.